Good morning, Wyoming. Today we are definitely taking a 0 day and this car is not going to be turned on once. I also plan to actually shoot the video I've been wanting to shoot today, which is, what is in this car? How have you been living in it for a month? And I'm going to show you. So, for those of you who are new, I am this guy. I've been traveling America for 37 days. And this is the Toyota Matrix that I've been living in for the past 37 days. Now everything looks just a wee bit messy right now, but that's just how it always looks. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull everything out and you're gonna see how it's done. Wow, there's so much space. So let me tell you why I don't have that much space. Mainly because of everything that's surrounding me right now. Alright, so I'm going to try and keep this in a somewhat sensical order. I'm going to move from back to front. Big stuff, then small stuff. Well, let's just get to it. Let's start with the Underworld. This is things that you don't actually need that often. Things like extension cords and tools, soldering kits, electrical tape, large wrenches, my multimeter, another tarp, zip ties. This is stuff that you could totally live without and is okay being buried this far under the floor. This side pocket we have laundry soap and a poop shovel. On the other side, we have an extra propane canister. On this side of the vehicle, we have my night glow stick. Very nice. A headlamp and a fan, all held on a piece of string between two handles. Next, we have the empty middle section. Over here is where I keep my water, my base, and this empty spot is where my clothes is going to go. Clothes are kept in bins. First one is my pants, because I don't change my pants that often. Next up is shirts. Finally, the undergarments. And on top of all that, we have a tent that I've actually never used on this trip. But it actually goes together something like this because reasons. To keep things from slipping around, I have these rubber mats. This is my food bin. It contains, you guessed it, food. In this little gap, I stick cereal. Next to the food bin goes the non-potable water. Don't drink that. On top of all that, goes my thermoelectric cooler. Runs off 12 volts, keeps things cool. I still have to add ice, but not as often. Inside, couple bungee cords. Keep the whole thing from sliding around. Okay, now we can put in the big bed. The bed is actually folding. Revealing plenty of underbed storage. This is the stuff that also doesn't get used that much. It's mostly just miscellaneous stuff like extra towels, bags and wipes and clothespins, and another extra towel. You get the idea, just random stuff. And finally, it all gets covered by a piece of wood. Okay, maybe I put a little too much in. The final large piece goes right here. It's my bike. And to keep it from jostling around, I have this bungee cord that I also store my clothespins on. So it actually leans off to the side, leaving much more space for other things. On top of the bed, I keep things I want to remain flat and not bent or crushed. And over that, I'll just throw all my bedding. The bed starts out with those rubber playmats again, followed by a self-inflating bedroll. It's pretty comfy. I've used it on other trips before this. You throw a tight-looking bed sheet over it, and you actually raise the seat so that you have a nice incline. I prefer it for sleeping, others may not. Finally, we have all the cookware, which slides under the bed nicely. Perfect. In this space, we store a few things. Paper towels, toilet paper, and a bucket for bucket reasons. My camelback, also known as my day pack. An air mattress that was supposed to be used with the tent. Up top, we have the dirty clothes bag, sealed for freshness, and the towels that I will use for showers. In this back corner, we keep things like the tools, my swim trunks, and duct tape and dish soap. Just kind of float around there. Way up here in this slot, I put a book that I'm still reading. Over on the right side, we keep things like my hammock, an air compressor, some rope, big jacket, and the magnetic cover for my rear window. Just make that look pretty. There we go. All pretty. You throw all your bedding on top and you're just about done. Yes, I keep a guitar in here. When I'm driving, it stays on my bed. But at night, it slides up there. If I'm driving and it's up there, it just falls down here eventually. Well, I'll just keep it down here for now. Around here on the right side, I keep my mosquito netting just tucked up in here. Take your window and roll the window down just a little bit. Take your mosquito netting and just kind of hang it over the top. It doesn't really matter. And what you're left with is a nice area that air can get in. But what if you want to force some air out? Just kind of tuck it up in the corner like that and turn it on. And you have a budget extractor fan. And from the outside, it just looks like this. It does sort of ruin your stealth value, but I've even set this up in a Walmart parking lot and no one's batted an eye. So let's take it back down. Underneath the seat is my subwoofer amp and 2 headrests that I removed. Next we have the toiletries bag, the glorious snack bag, my backpack and laptop, and on the raised seat I just put whatever electrical things I need. This inverter and all these chargers. I'll untangle it later. And tucked up under here we have the massive power bank that runs my little fan. Up front is where things get interesting, so let me take you into the driver's seat. Down on the floor we have the extra shoes I'm not wearing. And here we have a lens cleaning cloth and some Bluetooth headphones. A quarter for working with the tripod settings. Over on the door we have a comb, a rain poncho, and the magnetic cover for this window. These are hand-sewn cloth with magnets in each one of these little pouches. So when you bring it close to the door, it makes a relatively light-proof cover so people don't snoop in on your car. It's nice for when you're parked, maybe in a Walmart. I've even used it in this campground just because I like waking up a little later. Yeah. Up front we have my phone and sunglass holder. Radio, very important for long drives. This is my logbook where I keep track of all my expenses. A power splitter that brings it off towards my phone power and my radar detector power. Center console, we have the ever lovely fidget spinner. Knife, extra battery for my camera, water. Holy crap, I'm thirsty. Lots of spare change and quarter rolls. A 24mm lens, lens caps, cables. There's some squished pennies down there. And finally on my seat I have a folded up blanket for easy cleaning and shaking out because stuff gets all over your seat. Also, if I'm ever cold, I have another extra blanket. And last but not least, in the center console is all my receipts. I've bought a lot of stuff. I'll look at that later. Oh wait, I forgot one more. In this bit is where I keep all of the postcards I've collected and some napkins. Alright, just about everything's packed up. There's just a few more things to go in. Take this tripod, fold it up, and shove it in that gap. This gap is also home to my folding chair over there. Well, it turns out the board doesn't actually fit that well there. It is a new addition, and honestly, I would sell my bicycle if anyone would buy it, just so I could have more space. So for now, the backpack's gonna go on the bed and the board is gonna sit up front. And that's it. Wow, I hope that wasn't too long of a video. Thank you for watching the quick tour of how I've been living in my car for the past 37 days. There we go. Days just kind of blur into one another, and honestly I can't even tell if it's the weekend or a weekday half the time. The what's in my car segment's over. The rest of this is a normal vlog. We're here at what Google said was a longboard shop. I think it's just someone's personal hobby that they run out of their home. It was listed on Google. Sorry. No one home. Oh well. Library stop. Got more videos downloaded. Back to camp. It's a car. That was like a normal truck, but it had railroad wheels on it instead of like normal tires. It's kind of weird. Oh, there's an ATV behind me. Cool. Some pancakes for dinner, and the trailer next door has a CO2 alarm going off for probably the past hour. They said it was nothing. Alright, whatever. If their trailer blows up, it's not my fault. Alright, well, that pretty much concludes for this episode. Just gonna sit down, edit. It's a very comfortable temperature outside right now. Got my ghetto power rig set up for my laptop. It gives slightly more voltage than if I were to turn the key and have the inverter plugged into the cigarette lighter. Also, I don't have to have the key on, which means there's no annoying dinging or anything like that. So this video I think is going to come out really well, so I'm going to post around on a few social medias. If you like it, consider subscribing. I'm not going to do a gear video every day, but it's more of a day in the life of a nomad who has nothing better to do. If you have wanderlust in your heart, I will help you get that out, or increase it. Travel's cheap. You should try it sometime. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.